Welcome back, everyone. This is the beginner's guide for the Caliber Scientific Calculator. Now, if you look in the back side right here, it says Caliber Scientific Calculator. This is from CVS, number 241264, model number TL001. Comes in a nice case like that. Says input DC 1.5 volt battery and AG10. It comes with it slides very nicely and locks in easily. I'm going to leave it at this angle because it's a little easier to read. It comes with a solar panel. Nice little solar panel so I can run with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the calculator. All right, to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to press Shift and Mode, and then we press number 3, and then equals, and then it'll erase everything. Okay, and you can press on. Let's do some operations and see how this calculator works. Let's do 4 plus 2. So 4 plus 2, right? You can see it's algebraic, and then you press equals, and then you get 6. Let's do negative 4. Negative 4, you can see the previous problem is gone now. Plus 2 equals negative 2. Pretty straightforward. Let's say 3 divided by 8, right? So we go 3 divided by 8. You can see there's no fraction. It's just a division. You press equals and gives you 0.375. Okay. Then let's say 8 take away 6, right? 8 take away 6, and you press equals, and it gives you 2. Pretty straightforward. Let's say negative 4 minus 8, right? So we're going to put negative, and then 4, then take away 8 equals negative 12. What about something like negative 8 minus a negative 9, right? Can we do that? Yeah, we should be able to. Again, we press negative 8, take away, and then negative 9, right? And you can see how the formatting is there. 2 negatives make a positive, right? Signs are different. You subtract, and then you keep the sign on the larger one. And it's 1. Okay. 5, 4 take away 3, right? 5, parentheses, 4 take away 3. 5, you put the parentheses, 4, take away 3, you close parentheses, and it'll do the math automatically. In this case, it's going to be 5. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now, let's try something, well, let's try some multiplication problems. One multiplication problem, right? Like 8 times negative 9, right? 8 times then the negative and then the 9 equals negative 72. Okay, so let's try some fractions. Like, for example, 3 over 4 take away half. Let's do that one first. So you press 3, ABC button, 4, okay, divided by, it's smart enough to know it's smart enough to know that you're not doing something like this, divided by, like it's not there, right? It's here. So it's divided by 1 ABC. 2, you press equals, and it gives you 1.5. 1.5, okay? Now, let's say I want this in a fraction form. You press ABC again, and it gives you 1.5. Okay, and if you press ABC back, it brings you back to 1 1/2. Let's say I want an improper fraction. You press Shift ABC, and it gives you 3/2. Okay, let's do another one. Let's say 5 2/3. Take away 6 7/8, right? So 5 ABC, 2 ABC, 3. So it looks like this, right? You have 2 small brackets here, and then take away 6 ABC, 7 ABC, 8 equals negative 1, 5 over 24. This can be converted if you press the ABC button. Gives you negative 1.208, right? And if you do Shift ABC, it gives you negative 29 over 24. It gives you the improper fraction. And you can press ABC again, and it gives you back the decimal form. You can easily do a problem by hand and then double check to see how it operates for you. Now, one thing about the answer, remember, let's do another one. Let's say 6 2/3 divided by 5 over 8, right? 6 ABC, 2 ABC, 3 divided by 5 ABC, 8 equals, you can see the answer is in a mixed format, 10 2/3. But you can, if you don't want the answer into a mixed format, but you want it to be in improper fraction all the time, you press mode over here once, twice, 3, 4 times, and you press 1 for display, and you want it to display in an improper fraction too, it'll do that all the time. Okay, so it'll just transform it into, in this case, 32 over 3. Can you change it back to ABC? Let's find out. It gives you 10.66, which is the decimal version, right? 10.666. Let's press ABC. No, it doesn't. Shift. Shift ABC does give it to you back to 10 2/3. Okay. You have to mess around with it a little bit. Okay. So that gives you an idea of how to do some of these fractions. You know, sometimes when you get to do a little more complicated things, let's say it's written out as 5 divided by 2 take away 3 halves, let's say, something like this. You might have, or better yet, 5 over 2 take away 3 over 2. You might have to put parentheses here, right? Like 5 divided by parentheses 2 take away 3 ABC2, and then close it and equals, and here it says it's equal to 10. Okay. Now to do this by hand, let's do this by hand. 5 over 2 negative 3 over 2. Let's put a 1 here. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3, right? Over 1 times 2 is 2. And then there's a subtraction in the middle. 4 take away 3 is half. Don't forget there is a 5 on the top, right? And then 5, this is take away. I'm sorry, divide by half, which is the same thing as 5 times the reciprocal of this 2, which is the answer is 10. Okay, so the calculator is doing this step by step for you. All right, let's keep going. Okay, let's keep going with let's say square roots. The square root of 8, right? The square root of 8. So we do the square root. We type in 8. We press enter, and it gives you 2.828. Okay. Don't forget that there's an index of 2 there. All right. So we'll keep that in mind because we'll demonstrate a few other things with that. So let's say you take the square root of 5 over 9, right? So again, you take the square root, 5, ABC, 9, and then you enter. And it gives you 0.7453. Let's say you're not too sure about that. That square root doesn't go all the way out. Well, we can always do square root, parentheses, 5, ABC, 9, close it, equals, gives you the same answer, okay, if you're not too sure about that. This calculator has a x square root, giving you a different index, okay? So if we put 2 for the index, right, and then the square root with the x on it and 25, it's the same thing as saying the square root of 25, because this 2 is indicating the index for that x value, which is right here. Okay, so if we put 2, shift, and then what they call the caret key, that 2 belongs to that x, and then 25, and you press equals, it gives you 5, which we knew. But when we have this index of a different value, that's when you usually use it. Like, for example, the third root of 8, right? The third root of 8. Yes, third root of 8. So we press 3, shift, this caret key, and then we press 8, and it's equal to 2. Okay, how does that work? Well, 8 can be broken down into its prime factorization. 2 goes into 8, 4. 2 goes into 4, 2, right? So 8 really is 2 times 2 times 2, or 2 to the third power. So if you look at this, the third root of 8 really is the third root of 2 to the third. This 3 will go on the bottom. 2 to the 3 over 3. 3 over 3, that's 2 to the 1, which is 2. This is why the answer is 2. Okay. So what about, let's put another one. Let's say the third root of minus 64. Okay. So we put 3, right? Shift, caret, minus 64. Let's see what answers it'll give us. And it'll give us negative 4. Okay. So you can't put negatives in roots, but they have to be odd indexes. Let's say I want to do something like 9, and then the fourth root of 15, right? So this one, I'll probably say 9, parentheses, the 4, that 4 is going to be for the x, and then the radical, right? And then the 15 inside. But we can do it without the parentheses, but let's do it this way. Let's put the 9, parentheses, the 4, the shift, the arrow, right, the caret, and then the 15. We're going to close it, and that gives you an answer of 17.7119. So if we don't have the parentheses, 9, 4, shift, right, caret, 15. See, now it's probably thinking that this is the 94th root of 15, right, which is a whole different answer, okay? So keep that in mind when you're doing that. All right, so what about powers? Like, for example, 8 to the 5th, okay? 8, and this caret gives you the ability to give you the power what, 5, equals 32,768. 32,768. Wonderful. You can also do, let's do negative 9 squared. Let's see what happens on this. 9, and then the caret, or actually, hold on, negative 9 caret squared. What does that equal to? Negative 80, negative 81. So let's look at this more closely. Negative 9 squared. Why did it give you negative 81? Isn't it that it's 9, negative 9 times negative 9? Shouldn't that give you a positive 81? Well, these algebraic calculators, the way they're doing this is that they have the negative, and then 9 times 9, which will give you negative 81. So to give you a positive answer, right, you would have to set up the calculation this way. Parentheses, negative 9, close parentheses, then the caret and 2 is equal 81. Even if you have negative, let's say 9, right, and then use the square button, and you can see that 2 is slightly smaller, and press equals, it gives you negative 81, all right? And if you do this problem, let's say 9 take away 9 squared, right? 9 take away 9 squared, it's going to be a subtraction, negative 72, right? 9 take away 81 gives you negative 72. Okay. Now, remember we said that the square root of 16, right? There's an index of 2 here, right? Square root 16 gives you 4. But you have powers that are fractions, okay? And this 2 becomes the 2 for the index, okay? And this 1 stays with the 16, okay? This 2 goes here in the index, and then this 1 is right here. So 16 to the 1 half. So we can do 16, and then the caret, and let's see, 1, ABC 2, and it's going to give you not the right answer. Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. So we probably have to do 16 caret parentheses 1 ABC 2 close parentheses. There we go, 4. Okay, so we're going to have to put parentheses on it. Same thing as 16 caret and then parentheses 1 divided by 2 close parentheses should give you the same answer. And the only way you're going to know, if it's right or wrong, when you start using these calculators, is that you have to do a few problems so that you can get used to your calculator. Getting used to your calculator here is different from using this calculator or these right here. Okay. Let's see. There's also x to the third power. So 5 cubed, right? 5 cubed equals negative 125. And if you have negative 8 cubed, right? You can go negative 8 cubed and equals, and that's going to give you negative 512 as an answer. All right. Let's keep going and do some more problems, right? Sometimes you have problems that might look something like, let's say, 1 divided by 3 squared, okay? What you can do, all right, and I'll put it over here. What you can do is you can say 3 squared, right? And that gives you 1 over 9. And then you can use the x to the minus 1 key. And this is something that we haven't done before. I'm just going to press this button. And it says take the previous answer and do negative 1 on it, meaning take the reciprocal and then press equals. And that gives you 0.1111. Goes on forever. Okay. If you go 1 divided by 9, which we just did right now, it gives you 0.11111. And I'm not sure if you press Shift ABC. Yeah, it does give it to you. Look, 1 over 9. So it has enough ones for it to represent that, and you press the ABC button, it gets you back to the decimal format. Okay. So I'm trying to see over here. Can you do something like 1, right, divided by 1 ABC 9? Can you do that? And that's going to be 1 divided by, and I guess you got to need the parentheses, don't you? Right? Let's see that. 1 divided by parentheses 1 ABC 9. Close parentheses. And that, no, that's a whole different problem, isn't it? Okay. All right. So, all right, so let's say we were doing 1 divided by 1 over 9, right? So what we can do is say 1 divided by, parentheses, 1 ABC 9, right? Close parentheses equals, that's going to give you an answer of 9. How's that? 1 divided by 1 over 9, 1 divided by 1 over 9, right, is 1 times the reciprocal, which is 9, which is the answer, okay? All right, now let's do logs. Like log of 100, right? So we press log, we type in 100, we press equals, that's 2. Remember, this is base 10, all right? So there's this rule that says log of base A, B equals C. It's the same thing as A to the C equals B, okay? So 10 squared equals 100, all right? That's the rule. 10 to the 5th power, which is the anti-log, okay? The anti-log is right here. So we go shift log, gives the anti-log, and then 5 equals 5 zeros. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And remember, you can go 10 to the half, which is the square root of 10, right? Same thing. So you can go and press shift to the 10 power. And I'm wondering if you can do 1 ABC, 1 ABC 2. Syntax error. Okay, you can't. So shift 10, shift log to 10 to the x, and then you have to put parentheses. 1 divided by 2, which is equal to 3.162, which is the same thing as the square root of 10, which is the same answer. Okay, so it's a little fickle, but you'll get used to it. E to the 1, the natural the natural log is based on e, so e to the 1. So e to the x is right here. Go shift natural log. You put a 1 on it, and gives you the number that you want, 2.7182, right? Or the natural log of, let's say, 5, right? The natural log of 5. The natural log of 5 equals 1.6094. Now, the natural log of 5 really is the log of base e of 5, okay? Now that is not here, but what we can do, we can do this problem. But before we do this problem, let's say you had the log of base 8, 5, right? So this is the log of 5 divided by the log of 8. Okay, it's just a rule. The log of 5 divided by the log of 8, well, we can do that. We can do the log of 5 divided by the log of 8 equals 0.7739. And if you're not sure about that, you can always say the log of 5 divided by, and you can put a parenthesis if you like, log of 8. close parentheses. So you can separate it, same answer. Okay, so how we're going to do this one? Same thing. This is the log of 5 over, and this is base 10, by the way, but we don't represent it that way. The log of e, right, and this will be e to the 1. So the log of base 8 of 5, right? So these are regular logs of 10. Just like over here, this is the log of 10. When I did this problem, I said the log of 100, and I didn't put that little 10 there. Same thing over here. The log, this log key is based on tens. Okay, so the log of base e of 5 is the same thing as the natural log of 5. Natural log of 5 is, this is just another way of writing it. Instead of people saying log of e, log of base e of 5, what's the answer? They'll just say natural log. Okay, there's a history behind that. So log base e of 5 is the log of 5 divided by the log of e. Okay, that number goes on the top, the other one goes on the bottom. How do we do this? So we go log 5 divided by the log e. So we take log, right? And then we take shift and natural log, right? Because it gives you e to what power? To the 1. All right, equals 1.6094. Same answer, okay? So natural log of 5 is really is rewritten. Instead of saying log of base e of 5, we just rewrite it to natural log of 5. All right. Okay, that wasn't too bad, was it? All right, so let's do a few other things, like the cosine of 90. Some trig stuff. Right now, it's on degrees. So if we type cosine 90 equals, that gives you 0. Okay. If you want radiant mode, you click on mode once, twice, and you can press 2, right? And this one, I think, is what? Cosine of pi over 2, which I think represents 90. We're in radiant mode. So if we press cosine, here's pi, right? So we go with shift pi divided by 2. Let's see if that works. Cosine doesn't look right at all. Let's try the, you know why? Again, you probably need parentheses. Okay, parentheses. Shift pi divided by 2, close parentheses. There we go, 0. So this calculator caliber, you're going to need to use parentheses in some areas, okay? That's a little bit, you know, a little bit of an adjustment, all right, that you're going to need to do. Percent, right? Where's percent? It's right here. So let's say you had 100 times 10%, it automatically gives you the answer. So 100 times 10% is going to be 10. 10% of 100, right? So 100 times 10%, it gives you the answer automatically. Let's do that again. 100 times 10, then shift. Oh, let's erase that. All right, let's turn it on. Okay. Oh, shift off button. Okay, so I found the off button. Here's the on button. 100 times 10, shift, and then percent, it automatically gives you the number. You don't even have to press the equal sign. That's like most calculators. The one that I always thought, the one that's interesting is 100 divided by 10%. How about that one, right? 100 divided by 10, shift, and then percent, it's 1,000. It's different, okay? let's see, some other things that the calculator has. You know, there's probabilities here, and choose R, NPR, right? There's some random stuff that you can do down here, like a random number. Let's see, if you press this, you know, you could do random. I guess it's shift random random number. There it goes. Equals. It gives you a random number between 0 and 1. There is a looks like there's a variance. There's sums. There's a mode here, right? Standard deviation mode, regression mode that you can look into. There's degrees, radians, and grads for engineering. Fixed, psi, and norm. So if you need scientific notation, if you press 2, up to in your scientific notation, how many places you want to go. Let's say 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So look at that. This random number generator is always there. Look at that. That's really nice. I didn't know that until you press clear. So 6 times 9 equals, and it gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. Mode, 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 and then normal. And I think it's number 2. It's the floating point, I think, for that. And it has this alpha key, which I'm not sure what's that for. There's probably a few other things here. You know, there's delete, right, where you can delete something, which is really neat. Looks like it has a memory and a memory minus, and then a store and recall. Doesn't come with the manual, so these you have to play around with a little bit. Okay, arctangents, arccosines, and arcsines are there, as you can see. And I don't know, did we do a third root? I'm just looking at that right now, right? So like a third root of 8, which we did already before, but this one has the index of 3 automatically. So you just have to press shift, the third root, and let's erase that. Shift, the third root of what? 8 equals 2. Okay. Okay. That should give you a sense of how to use the caliber calculator from CVS. The more you practice on the calculator, the better you'll get. If you like this video, please subscribe. Please tell your friends. Please tell your teacher to post it. And I hope you have a great semester. You have a comment. You want to tell us your experience about the calculator, please put it down there. If you would like to support this channel, we do have a thanks, and it's always appreciated. All right, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.